Hey, church family, we're here again for our daily updates and devotions. As far as updates, it was so exciting to worship with y'all yesterday. Some of y'all in person, some through the radio, and some online. Again, it's just still unusual times, but still continue to pray and glorify God with your lives by loving on your neighbors, by reaching out to those around you, and praying and asking God, how do you want to use me and my family during this time? And God is more than happy to use you for His glory at any point, in any place, in any time. So I encourage you to continue to do that. Well, this time we're going to get into our devotion for the day. We're going to be looking at Proverbs chapter 11. Now today what we'll do is we'll take 7 verses from chapter 11. What we'll do is we'll read them, summarize them, and then ask some reflection questions. Again, this part of Proverbs now is almost like we're jumping. You got these little pearls of wisdom again, where it seems like you're jumping topics all over the place. So we're not necessarily going to go verse by verse through every chapter. I'm going to pick out some of the ones that stand out to me, and we're going to talk about those. But if there's some other ones that stand out to you, let us hear. Comment on our Facebook page about the verses that stood out to you from chapter 11. But anyway, so here we're going to get going. We're going to get going in Proverbs chapter 11. We are going to, like I said, 7 verses. So we're going to start with verse 7. So Proverbs 11, verse 7, it says, "When the wicked person dies, his expectations come to nothing, and hope placed in wealth vanishes." What it's saying is if you embrace the world, in the end, you'll have nothing. There'll be nothing to show for it. You will be left empty. So what should we think about that? What should we be pondering? Well, where is your hope placed? Is it in this world, or is it in God, in the world to come? Where are you placing your hope? Now let's go to verse 11. It says, "A city is built up by the blessing of the upright, but it is torn down by the mouth of the wicked." Basically, the upright builds up, the wicked tear down. So our reflection question is are you building others up, or do you need to put other people down to make yourself feel better about yourself? Are you a builder, or are you tearer down, or however you want to say that? You need to think about who you are. Now, chapter 11, verse 14, it says, "Without guidance, a people will fall, but with many counselors, there is deliverance." So, left to yourself, you'll fall, but the wise surround themselves with many counselors. So do you seek advice from others, or do you rely upon yourself? But then you need to take it a step further. Do you act on the counsel of others, or do you rely upon only your own understanding? It's not just about getting counsel from others. It's about actually putting counsel into practice. That's important there. Now let's read verse 19. It says, "Genuine righteousness leads to life, but pursuing evil leads to death." No way else to summarize that except righteousness leads to life, pursuing evil leads to death. Every decision and action you make or take will create an effect, cause and effect. Do you ever consider how your actions impact those around you? Do you realize there is nothing you can do that does not impact somebody else? Your actions, your attitude is always impacting someone else. So you need to keep that in mind. Now, verse 22. "A beautiful woman who rejects good sense is like a gold ring in a pig's snout." Pig's nose. So, good sense basically is better than outward beauty. Now, so our reflection question there, are you more concerned with your physical body or your spiritual soul? Which one consumes you? What are you more concerned about? Now let's go to verse 27. Verse 27, it says, "The one who searches for what is good seeks favor, but if someone looks for trouble, it will come to him." Searching for good finds favor. Searching for trouble, guess what? Finds trouble. If you are constantly having trouble in your life, it's over and over all the time, no matter where you go, or maybe it's one bad relationship after another bad relationship after another bad relationship. If you're in this cycle, maybe it's time to look at not the other people, but to look at you and your own choices. So you need to ask yourself, what are you searching, or what are you seeking out in your daily life? Who are you trying to be? A person of the world, or a man or woman of God? Then we move to verse 28. Verse 28 says, Anyone trusting in his riches will fall, but the righteous will flourish like foliage. Temporary riches will fall. Righteousness lasts forever. Again, are you more focused on the eternal or the temporary? What matters to you the most? The things in this world or the things that will outlast this world? Brothers and sisters, don't be fooled. There are only two ways to live your life. One, focused on yourself, all about you. Two, living for God's glory. There are no other options. That's how it is. You're either your own God or you're serving the true God. God is calling us, though, to live differently. If you commit your life to Jesus, you commit yourself, I'm going to be a follower of Christ. I am a Christian. I am a believer. What you're doing, you're saying, I am making a commitment to live differently than the world. Because God has called us to have different values, different character, different priorities. You can read that in Romans 12 and especially focus on verses 1 and 2. In verse 2, it tells us, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So brothers and sisters, what we need to do is we need to be like Jesus. We need to be different. That's what we're learning, what wisdom is. Wisdom is different than what the world offers. I hope you have a great afternoon, and I look forward to talking with you again tomorrow.